All right, so this video is for CIS64 PHP programming, Introduction to PHP Programming for Shasta College. And this is for homework assignment 2. And it is, so what you have is two files here. You got the code, custom code PHP and the redirect PHP. And you just copy that when you download it, and you copy it into your folder, into your htdocs folder, which is in your XAMPP folder here. So you got your redirect here. And then you copy the custom code one too, because what you do is you copy and paste the custom code into a new document and you rename it with your last name and then php2.php. And basically what you do is I changed the top and centered it to show it's a drop-down links for what browser you have. And then this browser is for Internet Explorer. I'll put a comment in there. So then I made the links from the homework assignment, which it says for Firefox. So in here, Firefox is down a little bit, but I had to download Firefox. I didn't have Firefox on my machine. So let me go ahead and start XAMPP and then start Firefox too. Start that. So that's going. You have to start your Apache web server. This isn't, if this was SQL, we'd have to start SQL, but this isn't SQL. So we'll start up Firefox. And I'm not going to use it as my default browser because that's what this program checks for, is what your default browser is. And I'll show you that in a minute. So these are the links I put in the PHP file. That is what he wanted. So you submit the submit statement, and it takes you to your PHP page. You get Wikipedia link. That works fine. And then you got your Mozilla Foundation link. So these all work fine. So we'll go ahead and we'll try that with Safari now too, because that's the Apple version of it. And this should work fine too. I don't want to make Safari my default browser because I don't have an Apple computer. I have an Apple phone, but not an Apple computer. There we go. We got Apple, Wikipedia, Apple, iTunes. So we submit the Apple and then let's go into apple.com. Whoops, I think I just messed that one up. Let me try that again. Submit it. For some reason, Safari takes a long time on my computer. All these, I've already tested this, so all these links work, but it just takes a little bit of time on this computer. And you see how this is centered in the center of it now, too. What'd you do? Timeout? There we go. There goes iTunes. Slow internet connection. So that's Apple, and that will go, I guarantee, because I was working fine yesterday, so it will work. So that was that. And then if we go to Google, and this is the so this is the thing, and I'll show you this here in a second. The my default browser on my computer is set up for Google Chrome, I think. So that this is the code in the Google links. So you got Google Store, and Wikipedia. For some reason, Wikipedia always takes longer to load than the other ones, but that's fine. So like I said before, my computer is set up for Google Chrome as the default web browser on my computer, on my particular machine, which is funny because in the code, I was having a problem with getting for the Microsoft Edge, which is up here. This is Microsoft Internet Explorer and Microsoft Edge, which is the second one I did here. And I'll show you that. So if I go on to Microsoft Edge, and mind you, the code works fine. The code is coded exactly correctly. So if you run into the same problem, what it is your particular machine, you set the default values for your machine to be, see how it pops up with the Google links here. Still works fine, but that's not the Microsoft Edge links that we wanted. But what happens is, since I set up the default web browser as Google Chrome in your PHP, in your PHP, it's looking for the user agent, and I set up my default user agent to be this right here. So that's why these three pop up. But they all work. The Safari links works, Chrome links works, the Firefox links works, and these work just fine because they're programmed correctly. So if you run into the same problem, that's what's happening. And I actually saw an example of this. Because it was in the configuration. But it's not an error. So what I found in it was that it had a default value here. So the default value goes to Google here, even though it's a Microsoft Edge browser, which is kind of funny, but I mean, it's not a big deal because they all work correctly. And these are all programmed correctly too. So we'll look at that, and I'll show you more in I'll just go over homework assignment 1 again. So this is your HTML, this is your form, and this is your method of a post. Remember, we were in the book, they talked about 2 different methods. You had your get method, which puts your variables up in your URL. Which puts your variables in here. So like this your source, and this would be a variable, and this would be another variable. So that would be a get if you had a get method. This isn't using a get, but that's just how that works. So it would be, and your source equals, this is where your variables would be. So we're posting. This is the top. I centered this onto the page, and I give it a header, a level 2 header. And then this is where you start your PHP selection on your drop-down box. So this is your PHP. This is getting your browser information, I should say. This is Microsoft Internet Explorer. These are the links. This doesn't display because this is within the option pane. So that's not, and this is a comment. This is your option values. These have to be in quotation marks on both sides. And this is the actual selection link. And each one of these is a different option in your drop-down menu. So then you got your else if statement. This is Microsoft Edge. And just remember the Wikipedia links tend to take longer to load than the other links, like google.com or the Wikipedia links take longer. And how you get the Wikipedia links is you go to the wikipedia.org site and then just do a search for whatever it was. Like this was for Internet Explorer, this was for Microsoft Edge, and this is for Firefox here. Oh, and the I is so it's case insensitive. So it doesn't matter if you had it like this, it would look for a capital F there, and that would be okay. So that's case insensitive. So it doesn't matter what the case is. So if it says Firefox in uppercase or lowercase letters, it doesn't matter. That's what the /I is. What was that called? The regular expression. They call it the regex or regex, regular expression. This is the Firefox. And this is my default browser right here, is Google Chrome. And this is what PHP will default to if it doesn't seem to find the other ones. Or it just does. Even when it's coded correctly. So then, this is your Safari. Save that. And that's the end of that PHP. And you got your break statements. And in your selection, in your input by putting your submit button in there. And that's what this does. This is push your submit button in there. And then this closes your form, closes your body, and closes the HTML. So that is homework assignment 2. And that all works correctly. So let's go. I'll look at that one more time in a second. So let's go and open homework assignment 1 again. Those are your variables. More variables. Those are print statements here. Echo asterisk, print statement, end of line, PHP end of line. And then I put an extra break in this is the HTML in the HTML break. And this is closing the body tag. And this is closing the HTML tag. This is actually considered XHTML, but that's okay. You can do this. This is fine. So that was homework assignment 1A. And homework assignment 1B is all the same stuff. Declare your variables here. Declare the asterisks as a variable like they did in the from the homework assignment. Declare your A variable and initialize it to 0. I put the greeting as a variable. And you got your asterisk line. It's your name variable. This is your date variable. That's just a system function variable that grabs the date from the system, whatever you have on your computer, and puts it here in your PHP. This is a new line character and a return character. Whoops. Let's undo that. Return new line. Class section number of my class. Break. PHP end of line. And then my different classes I'm taking. New line, 2 breaks. So that's a carriage return line break, new line. Asterisk again. If A is greater than 0, then print your classes. If it equals 0, and this is equals here, 2 equal signs equals 0. Coursework for this person is confidential. Last row of asterisks. Greeting. Close your PHP out. Put a break, which adds a line. Close the body of your HTML and close your HTML. So that is homework assignment 1B. So go back to homework assignment 2, which we were just looking at, which is, there it is. So we got our HTML, open our body, make a form, go to the redirect, which we copied into our htdocs folder, which is here. Then put our header label in the center and our selection box, our PHP checks what browser you have. And I have my computer is defaulted to the Chrome browser, and that's why these links for Internet Explorer are overridden by the Chrome browser. These all work. It's your second else if statement. It's Edge. Same goes with the Microsoft Edge. My Google Chrome browser is over because it's my default browser on my computer. So the global browser indicators or whatever defaults to Google Chrome. But these all work just the way they're supposed to. So that's good. Firefox. And we saw Firefox down here. See, and you can always, if I don't know if you have Firefox or not, but you can download Firefox if you want to submit it. Just go back. Make sure they all work. Which they do, so that's cool. And Chrome we already showed you, and Safari. So then after you're done with all these, then you put 2 breaks there. And you end your selection. And this is your submit button on your HTML page. You close your form, you close the body, and you close your HTML. So anyway, I hope that helps. That is homework assignment 2 for PHP CIS64 Shasta College. All right. Thanks for watching. Bye.